Hello, this is Galdoc. We are playing Factorio. This is the space exploration mod, the couple of quality of life mods, and we are short on stuff. What are we short on? Well, the train station seems to be working just fine. This is always full. I always have like a train here, and if I don't, I have some in wait, so that's pretty good. However, I am not consuming it well enough over here. And that actually makes sense. If you look at it, we only have one iron patch being tapped. We have a second one out here that I can tap. The thing is that this only has about 107 miners out here, I think. I want to say it's a... let's see. Just before I started streaming, I went out and I took a look, and I think that's what I remember seeing, but let's go ahead and just do this really quickly to make sure I'm not completely off base. The reason that's important is because if a miner can produce one resource every half second, that means that it essentially means that it's producing one every 2 seconds, which means that it would take a lot to build this stuff up. So 60 of these things are required to fill one red belt. A red belt can transport 30 items per second, and if it takes 2 seconds to get an item, then that would be 60 miners to the thing. So yeah, 107. So that's a little, it's like 1 3/4-ish red belts. We'll just call it 2 red belts and understand that a couple of smelters will be unable to perform. The thing is that that essentially is what I'm smelting here, right? I'm smelting a bit more, actually. Now the question is, does this row here smelt an entire column of iron? And I think the answer is yes. But the thing is that this isn't actually consuming iron that quickly. The thing that's consuming the iron pretty much without any faltering is this one right here, is my steel. But steel is hard to set up. Steel is always hard to set up. It takes 5 belts of iron to make 1 belt of steel, right? And so that's a big problem. Ooh, I didn't realize this. I think I don't want this here anymore. Oh man, I can't even tell. I fed these things in strangely, so that's a little weird. Let me go take a look here. So those 2 go down there. And what do I have? Just 2. I have 2 iron lines here that are just kind of split weirdly. So my steel line isn't even getting full up. Like you can just tell there's about 8 or 9 smelters down there that aren't working. So I'm actually going to get rid of this and just let that continue. And then this iron line will just have to deal with the fact that it's like half of an iron line, I guess? Question mark. Ugh, I have a whole bunch of junk in my inventory. Let's get the wood out, and there's probably a couple of other pieces of junk. So the question is, what do I do next? Because I need to actually... Now I'm in the phase of the game where I have to start using the resources that I've got for various purposes. Like right now I have most of the resources that I want made here, just not in large enough quantities. But if I'm going to start doing stuff for space, then I need to start thinking about space. Now that little green line just showed up again, so that tells me that that hasn't been fixed. That's okay. So the thing is that the steel is what's holding me up right now. Like right now I have it on some yellow belt, some red belt, it doesn't really matter. It's all going to be blue belt soon enough. But the reason that I'm no longer getting enough engines is essentially because of the fact that I can't get enough steel. So hopefully that little boost to steel will help, but yeah. I've also evidently filled up on batteries, which is pretty cool. But we now have a couple of goals that we need to accomplish. One, pave this area. I'm just going to do that in a moment here because that has been a long time coming. I'm going to pave the majority of the bus. Not pave everything here. I'm not going to pave this whole area because my pollution cloud is pretty much covering it, and it would just sort of expand out some more. We'd get some problems. But I am going to pave this area here because this just needs to get done. 2, I need to expand the oil production because I think I need to just rearrange these things. It'll take a bit of time, but with the nanobots, that shouldn't be too bad. 3, this power setup is not going to be enough for very long. Looking at power right now, it's not terrible, but it's also not great. The issue right now is that one of the next phases I'm going to go into is the electric smelting phase. So I absolutely do not really have the energy for that right now. So step 4 is to get that set up, but yeah, energy is going to, like solar panels and stuff are going to have to come first. Can't really do nuclear setup. 5, I need to expand this so that I can have more trains with drop-offs, because I really would like to tap this. I'd like to actually tap these oil areas and have them set up to a very, something that can just, run this oil there at a reasonable clip. Right now I just have it in that pipe, and that's one pipe. Probably not enough. 6, I want to set up uranium just so I can start getting some of those products. 7, I need to set up a couple of columns here that will make things like low density structures and what are they called? Heat shielding, that's right. So it would be great to have some of those things set up too. Number 8, and this is actually something that I'm probably going to do right now before I do anything else, right? So let me not get things out of order. I'm just kind of naming all these tasks because I need to come up with some kind of ordering for them, is I need to put a second row of walls out there. So I discovered that up here somewhere, right here, these are getting damaged. Now, I have the mod that says spitters can't pierce walls, but if they spit here, right, this acid puddle is evidently reaching my lasers, and that's going to eventually cause a major problem. Now, this has lots of health. It's got 992 out of 1,000. This has 790 out of 1,000. I think the reason is because this doesn't seem to have any resistances that it's naming. I would have thought it had some. Maybe not. Either way, I'd like to have 2 rows of this, because if I start losing walls, that's not such a big deal. I start losing these things, that's a bigger deal. So let's see. How many of these do I now have? I hopefully have I have 7. Oh, wow. I need to restrict the production of this anyways. So let's just get a couple of these chores done. Let me set up the walls, because that's going to be a problem that comes up and bites me in the rear end. Then let's pave stuff. And then let's start doing the... I think what I'll do is I'll set up the construction areas for low density structures and that sort of thing. And I will set up the areas for the science, right? See, it's not too bad. And I'll set up areas for science, but at some point soon after that, once I start getting some of these things done, I'm going to really need to up my production of stuff. Yeah, someone mentioned in the Twitch chat that steel walls seem to take a lot less damage per hit, and I agree. And usually I do leave a gap between walls and turrets, but I didn't realize, this is the first time that I used the mod walls block spitters. And so I was curious, but what would happen if I just butted it right up against? But unfortunately, I now have my answer, and it's not one I like. Oh well, c'est la vie. Actually, let me keep those just in case. Yeah, I'll just leave all the rest of this stuff in here. I just need some walls. This isn't going to be too big of a deal. It's basically double all the walls that I had before, but, that's how the cookie crumbles, as it were. All right, so let's just go do this. This will only take a moment. Come over here to this end. It's worse with bobs. Yeah, I haven't actually put this together with bobs yet. I have definitely played bobs, but like with bobs, you just, oh my gosh, you set up all the lasers and you're just done. I mean, bobs is nice, but the lasers are just super powerful. Maybe I'm wrong. It's been a long time since I played it, but the last time I did, it was crazy. All right, so let's see. Did I get it all? No, I missed a piece. Here we go. Here we go. All right. And see, that's the green line I'm talking about. You can now see it pretty clearly, and I don't know why that's showing up. All right. Oops. I don't need these walls there. That's silly. All right. Here's a tree in my wall. Go away. So this is why I brought the landfill with me, was for stuff like this. Oops, well, whatever. But yeah, so this won't be too big of a deal. Walls, here we go. Wow, that used a lot more than I anticipated, so I actually do think I'm going to have to make more than one trip here. Oh well. My cat has a poof, and it's treating it like a kitten, so that's why you hear all this meowing all of a sudden. Alright, so here we go. Get some more trees in there. So I seem to be going towards something. I wonder what that is that it's pointing towards. Yeah, we're going to just have to dump our inventory for a second to do this because I don't want to have to fly back and forth. It's not too far, only takes a second, but done enough times this can add up. You have a ton of wall on you, don't you? All right, so you hold a bunch of junk. You give me a bunch of junk. All right, so now let's do this. Yeah, I've been curious about doing like a Bob Angel space exploration, but man, that just seems like a recipe for disaster. Let's go ahead. Actually, I can't pick that up because I don't have any space. Whatever. I'm not too worried. If that rock is there, then that's probably... Yeah, it's not... I guess it'll block some... It'll impede the path of some biters, but whatever. I'm not so worried about making this perfect. They're not... Biters, I don't think, actually strategize to that degree. Come on, stop. There we go. Yeah. But I can try to, like, hit a couple of these gaps here. It's no big deal. Boom, boom. Come on, hit it. Ah. Oh my gosh. All right, so that's good. I think there is nothing else here. Oh, there is one more. I was wrong. Here we go. Yeah, I didn't think so. I was like, my inventory is pretty full right now. I don't care if a little stone gets left on the ground there, though. It's fine. And... yeah, whoosh. Wow. You know what? Those are cliffs. Those will be fine. I don't think those are targetable. Tree reinforced walls can actually be a good thing. Really? I didn't know that. And using only Bob's enemies for combat, not the weapons or turrets. Yeah, Bob's basically took the idea of, oh, there's one of these things, let's make tiers of them. And also a couple of other like expansions. And some of it's good, some of it's not. I think it's drastically out of balance. Like the whole mod pack just seems like it was meant to do cool stuff. And don't get me wrong, there is always something to be said for doing cool stuff. But at the same time, I feel like there wasn't any real considerations given for balance. So, whatevs. That's not too bad. Let me back these things off. Actually, there. Alright, so. Now let's head out to this border down here. Happily setting up train networks to hit these iron patches isn't too much of a problem, but I do need to set up a way of actually processing the ore I might get from these patches first before I start doing any of that stuff. There we go. Yeah, too far, too far. Here we go. Doo-doo-doo. Yeah, someone mentioned that, the same person actually has mentioned that if you use Bob's, then you need to add in like rampant AI or something. Yeah, I've been worried about rampant. Rampant seems interesting, but I'm already a bit nonplussed by biters. Like, I feel like rampant is for a very specific kind of experience, you know? Like, when you play with rampants, you're like, I want combat to be a focus of my game. And that is completely legitimate, let me add. There is nothing wrong with that. I think actually there is something to be said for that kind of a game and giving yourself a new kind of challenge. But yeah, it's definitely, Bob's trivializes a whole bunch with those lasers. You get those, like, tier whatever lasers, and it's like, yep, you can just explode all the things. Okay. Alright, so let's get this wall down here. And I think this is the one where I needed to put down a couple more laser turrets. We'll see. I don't know that I have any in my inventory right now, but it doesn't really matter. At the moment, I'm not getting any attacks. Oop, I saw a little thing back there. Another couple. All right. Let's slow this down. Why didn't you guys put down anything? That's weird. Okay, well, that's a rock. I understand that. But not the other one. Let's see. What about here? Yep. Here we go. No, not that. Oh, my gosh. And then there was another one down here, wasn't there? I think those are all good. Yep. There it is. Why did you not put one down? Was I literally just going too fast in my airplane? Wow, that's pretty cool. You're my aeroplane. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Follow the light. There we go. Good enough. Hopefully I have enough to finish this one, because I think this is the almost last one, or this may be the last one. No, got a couple more bugs, so let's go fix it. There you go. Boop. Boop. I think I saw one other one. Might be wrong. I'm probably wrong. Okay, I'm wrong. Let's see. So then those were the very minor ones. Okay, yeah, we just made that double thick. That's okay. That'll work just fine. So yeah, that used up a huge chunk of those. I am very glad that I produced so many, but now I don't need any more. At least not for a while. It's going to be until I need to start making train stations that are out in the wilds, as it were. All right, so now let's go ahead and start. So some of this I'm going to, oh, that's right. I can't quite pave the world because I haven't set up the thing with which to do the paving. So that's silly. All right, here's the box I just laid down. Now the other thing is I laid a box down up at the top a couple of episodes ago, and I didn't actually get the stuff back. So let's go do that. Boop. Here we go. Now that has that has a bunch of junk in it that I don't care about. Like that stuff is just worthless to me. I mean, it is useful in general, but like, I don't even think I care to go pick it up and take it out there. Every time I go to set up something, I'm going to end up with some kind of a dump chest. I could probably set up like a train to collect it or something. Just clever, but I don't feel like it. There we go. Got that. So, all right. Now, back to work. Let's see. So I have some plans for paving some stuff. It's not the most important thing in the world because a lot of it's just going to be ripped up and replaced with other paving stuff. But right now, I'm making lots and lots of concrete. Oh, that's just an enormous amount of it. This is all going to have to move, right? My original plan was to just push these things out a bit. So I think I might still end up doing that. So let me go up here. I can at least pave some of this, right? So it might not be perfect, but I'm going to pave some of it. Let's put some of this stuff down. Yeah, let's just make a dump chest. This is just going to be, I have one task. Let's just get it done. Here we go. And here we go. And I don't think I need this much. Just give me it all. I'll put back what I don't need. All right, so actually this, I believe, is also supposed to end up being hazard stuff. I'm going to have multiple, wait, oh, that's right. Darn it. I was like, why do I have so little hazard stuff? I don't. It's stacked differently. Oh, putting Factorio in later certainly has had its repercussions on my sanity. 1, 2. Here we go. So let's see. Let's just go ahead and do this. Make sure I'm pointing in the right direction roughly. Here we go. And off we go. Boom. Same thing here. Yep, I didn't think that was going to last too long. All right, well, let's pave the center here. This is going to be interesting, fun times. Ooh, I got it exactly right first time. Very cool. There we go. And boop. Wow, I got that perfect too. Very nice. All right, so I'm going to get some more hazard concrete as time goes on, so that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and do this one. I think this one I'm going to have hazard concrete on both sides. Let's go ahead and just make that a little bigger. There we go. Yep. So I think, there we go. Let me just make sure I'm headed in the right direction. This is going to be really annoying to fix, but it's not. Okay. There we go. let's do this. So this one's also going to be about that same width as actually. One more. Okay. And now let's make sure I'm facing the right way. And actually, let's pick these things up. I don't like having these things distributed randomly about my base. Obviously, they were needed for the time when the biters were still like a constant threat, just randomly eating my stuff. But now that is no longer the case, so they can go away. Let's see. Add one more little tile there. Actually, two, I think. Yeah, there we go. That looks right. Here we are. Boop. And then boop. That'll be fine. And then how much boop here? This looks like sufficient level of boop. Let's make it one less boop. Boop. All right. So that'll be filled in with like some tiles at some point. Some hazard tile. Now let's do the 4 wide stuff. I can probably do this on foot, actually. Here we go. Now I say that, and then I'm going to start having all these problems with like running on belts and stuff, so that's great. Oh, and I can't see a thing because it's too dark. Ugh. All right, so we're going to have to wait for a little bit of daytime, but hopefully this won't last forever. Let's see, one more here. All right, I'm going to head over here. Let's do this. Go over one more. There we go. This should be the lane where I'm going to be able to like run through, so this shouldn't be that big of a deal. Here we go. And do the same thing going up here. I know I don't capital N need to do this, but this has been a long time coming. Do not want to have to suffer running around my darn factory. Let's see, 1, 2. Oh man, this is just going to take a little while. That's okay. 1, 2. Wait, nope. That's right. This is a little different. Here we go. Oh, this is so nice. This feels like progress. There we are. And this should be the last row for over here. I think I did most of it already. Very good. All right. So now let me just go take care of the big old things here. So we're going to go ahead and just pave this center area between the two belts here, because those are going to be taken up with hazard stuff. Here we go. This is going to go pretty far out here, actually. So I have much more to do. All right, now let's do this. So bring this down. I'll just do... I didn't anticipate needing that much space. I think, why did I do that? Let's just do this. I'll have a little bit of extra hazard stuff in there. That's fine. Here we go. Why can't I straighten out? Whatever, I'll just do manually. There we go. And I think this is kind of the same thing. Right? This one goes out like, oops. No, not that button. Here we go. I don't have any hazard space in there, so let's go ahead and just like shovel 2 hazard spaces in there. There we go. Oops. Well, guess I added a little bit, but let's see if I can just get rid of it real quick. So the problem is that I think that I need to... That's right. I was going to at some point move these 2 up. That's why this is so messed up right now. That's okay. I'm not too worried about it. I don't feel the need to necessarily change this right now. It would only take a little bit of time, as I've got my nanobots pretty much ready to go, but still. All right, now why did I bring all those up? Oh yeah, so I can, if I need to expand it, do more with that. Okay, so let's just keep going. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Boop. Let's see, just subtract 1 from there. There we go. Yay, I did it perfectly, and I didn't eat into my... Oops, I just got hit by a meteor. on the train track. Uh-oh, that's not good. It looks like that also destroyed some track, or destroyed something. It might be have just destroyed a power pole, but either way, let's go fix it. Oh, that was definitely a power pole that needs some love. That's not ideal. It's going to turn off a whole lot of stuff. Ooh, also lost it. There shouldn't have been those two things right next to each other anyways. That's silly. All right, well, let's go get a power pole and turn back on the miners from that entire south of my base. Where is it? Here we go. I don't need this stack, but that's okay. I can just pick up my old dump chest, but I'll put this right back. It won't be that big a deal. You'll never know it was gone. Oh, fiddlesticks. Where was it? There we go. I'm not too worried about the lights. I'll figure that out. What in the heck a doodle? Oh, okay. There we go. I saw some red "we don't have electricity" signs, but now they're gone, so that's okay. All right, so let's just take a quick check of the map. Make sure everything's turned back on. Yep, it seems to have electricity. Okay. So, except for the hazards, this seems to be like it's pretty done. I'm not going to worry about paving this area here. I suppose I could, but meh, I don't need it right now. So let's pave a little bit out here. Let's see. So let's subtract this down. One more. Here we go. And it's not straight. And it's still not straight. It continues to not be straight. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. Make sure I have some paths, and let's put in another path here because I think I'm going to end up having to come up here a couple of times. Here we go. I'll again worry about the hazard concrete when I have more hazard concrete. Should be any moment now, actually. Here we go. Let's see. How's that hazard concrete coming? Oh. Oh my stars and garters. All right, so let's go ahead and knock out the hazard concrete real quick. So this is facing the correct direction. So yep, we are good here. All right. Did I just say, oh, my stars and garters? Is that like a thing people say anymore, ever, under any circumstances? Oh, wow, that looks ugly as heck. Wait a second, I gotta see this. Are you serious right now? They, like, become vaguely transparent? Okay, well, we're gonna have to blow those cliffs up. Oh, is the jet engine sound bothering you? I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a whole thing. It is most definitely a whole thing. I don't know if there's anything I can do about it, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Someone has made the comment that the jet engine sound is very piercing, and I actually cannot deny that fact. It is true. All right, well, I can zoom out a little bit, which should help, but I do have to zoom in sometimes. I'm going to run out of this almost immediately, aren't I? Wow, that stuff goes really quick. All right, well, let's just keep going then. Hop out of here. And I'll just put, actually, I don't, ooh, dump chest. Yes, I put a dump chest down here. I will not hop out. I'll hop back in. All right, so I can at least put this back in there and this back in there. And let's just grab the rest of this stuff. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Why do I keep ending up with this stuff in my inventory? Like, seriously, I do not know where these stack inserters come from. I keep getting stack inserters and walls in the inventory of my aircraft for no reason whatsoever. Like, I don't know why that keeps happening. It's like spooky. It did start happening in October, so maybe there's something there. All right, so let's go ahead and start setting up the manufacturing areas for some of these things. I I'm going to need my cliff explosives, but I don't think I need some of this stuff in my inventory while I do this. So let's go ahead and chuck some of it. So I can put this, put this in there. I'll keep one stack just for the random, just in case. Let's go put the turrets back because I don't need them. So question, how is the volume to sound to in-game sound ratio right now? And there's the cat. Cat says hello. Well, hello to you too, cat. There we go. So I'm going to keep the laser turrets around because I'm randomly going to be flying across my northern border now and again. And I want to, or southern border, I should say. And I want to be able to put down some of the turrets that I've got there. Here we go. And I think that's all I can get out of my inventory right now. I'm not going to be working in oil right now. Volume balance is fine. Cool. Thank you so much. All right, let's head down here. And let's just put a bunch of this stuff in here. I guess I don't really need this. I wonder how much is my steel storage? Yes, good, good, good. I'm going to be using that for something pretty soon here. Let's see. I probably could swap the sound out for another file. It can't be that hard to do. I'm already working on something with Lua's scripting in here, and I've programmed things before, but I really at some point need to sit down with someone and just ask a bunch of questions about how things work. And it's actually quite nice because there are a lot of people who are very happy to answer questions in the Discord for, what's it called? Space exploration. It's a very, very positive community, which I very much appreciate. Let's see. Yep, don't need all these. Just stop being a thing. Pump jacks, I think I overproduced them a little bit too, but that's actually just fine because guess what? There's still a lot of oil that I haven't yet tapped. So let's just go ahead and do this. Don't need these chemical plants. Well, I might need the chemical plants for something. Who knows? Certainly don't need all these intermediates. And you, Rock, can just shush. Or shoo. And shush, yes. Don't be very loud, Rock. Speaking of very loud, there's my cat again. She has many things to say, and they are all meow. Let's see. Don't need... Well, I don't... Doesn't matter. I don't care anymore. I'm just putting stuff in here willy-nilly. At some point, I need to be more organized. But the thing is that this is the era of the game when it doesn't really pay, right? It's always good to be organized, but like with so few bots and things like that set up, I actually could spend a lot of time trying to get a very little bit of utility out of organization. So let's see. I'll keep one stack of these around, but I don't need like one and a partial. Put all those in there. Yeah, I guess I will just toss these out of my inventory. I don't need to walk around. It's just 3 of them. And I certainly don't need just 8 iron plates. If I need something, I'm going to just come get some more. So this can just go in here. Same with the copper, really. What uses copper? Hey, guess what? I have a bunch of copper. What uses green circuits? Guess what? I have a bunch of green circuits. And I think we are... Well, I don't need this stuff either. I'm not doing any train things. I think I have a box down here that has trains. Sounds are, in fact, all OGG files. Someone has mentioned that they think that they are, and that's exactly correct. Let's see. So, here we go. There it is. Just put all that stuff in there. And I don't need that many lights. It's a little too much. So that can go in there, too. Those are defenses. I don't need them anymore in my inventory. I don't think I'm going to need a pump, but we'll see if I need to like actually do that. So I don't think I'll need the gates. Those definitely go there. I will need some underground pipes. I'm probably going to need some of those. Okay, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I don't need these. That doesn't even go there. I think I have another box full of those there. In fact, I can probably compress that back down. There we go. Yep, looking good. I don't think I have any more need for anything in particular. So I'm forgetting something surely, but let's tell you what, let's get some concrete and we'll call this an exercise. That's enough to pave a small area. And that's definitely enough to border it. In fact, give me a bit more. Don't worry about the hazards. I'm going to have to pull up some of this hazard concrete because I'm going to use it for decorations. But we'll see. You'll see what I've got planned in the future. And of course, the second I start building again, it is dark again. So let's go ahead and give myself a nice 2-tile border here. Head out. And you know what? Just get out of here. You cliffs. I did ask for you to exist, and I did want the challenge of having to deal with you. However, I'm done. I need a lawnmower. Now, this sounds silly, but I literally need a lawnmower. So let's see. Let's just go get... oops, not those plates. That's the wrong kind of iron plates. I can't do anything with those. I can't even put them in here to be consumed. Oh well. I need these iron plates. Boop. So what else? That'll make the gears that I need for the lawnmower. Now I need an engine and some steel. I have engines down here. And steel as well. What do you know? How many engines do I need? Is it just one? Okay. Then... poop, give me an engine. Poop, give me some steel. Is that enough? I got one piece of steel. That's great. There we go. Now, what do I need this lawnmower for, you might ask? Well, I'm going to show you. So what the lawnmower does is this. It gets rid of the ground clutter that's on your base. Oh, this tree, get out of here. I want my factory to look like a nice industrial factory, not some rapscallion's floor. Now, it won't get rid of that for some reason. That's annoying. Huh. All right, well, that'll just dissipate on its own. That's fine. Yeah, the miner can eat rocks, but not cliffs. That is true. It is ever the trials and tribulations of being a Factorio player that you must deal with rocks. Being a Factorio player is hard and no one understands. All right, so let's go ahead and defenestrate the forestrates. There's not too much out here. Here we go. And again, I'm using a far reach mod because I was being driven insane by having to walk around all the time. So, yep, it's a little tiny bit cheaty, but that's okay. All right, what am I going to build? Let's take a look. So we need to make heat shielding, which is steel, sulfur, and stone tablets. So I'll use my stone bricks for this. And then heat shielding is glass, steel, and plastic, and copper. So heat shielding looks like it's pretty easy. I want to end the sulfur line because I'm done sulfuring. Haha. And I think heat shielding, it's very useful. Like, I definitely want it for my electric furnaces, but it also makes space platforming scaffold. Thruster suit. Yes, that's what I want more than anything else right now is a thruster suit. So I can definitely just throw up some things to make some of this stuff. Because the reason I want a thruster suit is because that's going to allow me to start doing things. I can get like reactors and I can do things with those reactors. So even if it's a modest little construction area, let me build something that will take care of this. So I'm going to have one feed come up the side right here of stone. So that's pretty cool. Then what's going to happen is it's going to split off the stone right here. And that stone's going to go over here. And I'm going to have a couple of things here. Plop some stone down. Let's see. That probably needs one more tile. So the stone... You know what? I might just end up using 2 stack inserters for the stone. I think that'll be fine. So stone tablets. I keep saying the word stone. Excuse me. Definitely you only need 1 regular inserter here and here. Now, in order to do this, in order for this to work, this is going to make, 8 stone per second? Right. So this this is going to make an enormous amount. This is going to fill up nearly a red belt. That's like 16. So this is 32. That's a blue belt. So I think what I'll do actually is this. So I'll just move this down, down, this down, and this down. And I'll, put 2 of these things down here and here. Grab this pattern, put it there. Grab this splitter and put it here. I think I need to move one more. There we go. And we'll move this splitter down one more too. And then I'll put an undergroundy, going the other way. Oop. And then let's do this. Oops, that's facing the wrong way. Silly me. In fact, I'll bring these to the center because I bet I can get all this done with like a single power pole. Nope, not well. I could if I put some undergrounds, but that is absolutely not worth it. I can actually use substations now. So yeah, we'll just do this. This feels good. I like substations. So, but I don't want it to take up any extra space, so that'll be fine. Now we can throw a light in here and we will be good to go. All right. So that'll hook up to the stone. Now, the other things I need for heat shielding are steel and sulfur. 8 sulfur, but then again, it's using 10 seconds worth of it, so that's not a huge deal. Let's see. So this consumes 2 stone tablets per second. 1 steel plate every now and again. Oh, that's great. That's 1 every 5 seconds. That's such a low consumption rate. I love it. But 8 sulfur, that's nearly 1 a second. I have almost no consumers of sulfur, however. But that being said, I think I do have a red belt of it coming up here, and it is pretty stocked. Yeah, I don't think I have any problem with that. So here's the red belt of it. Here we go. Let that float off into the distance slowly. Slowly. It's very silly, actually. It's like, all right, you do your thing, plane. Oh, did you finally stop? Look at you. Okay, so we have a red belt worth of stone tablets coming up. So this thing consumes 2 per second, so that means that I have about 30, 1 full red belt, in principle anyways. So that means that I have about 16 of these things that I can make based on that. But my sulfur should be more limiting because my sulfur is about 1 per second. And that's still, I guess that is, yeah, I can do about, I'll do about 16. It'll be close. And then the steel is just fine. All right, so I'm going to bring in a full belt of, so let me see. Do I want to do like a half belt of a steel and a half belt of stone? I think I probably do. The reason why is because the stone is so compressed here. Like, I'm going to feed this thing requires, I guess, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stone per second. Or stone bricks, I keep saying stone. That's not even going to consume 1/2 of a red belt's worth of space. So yeah, I'm going to just do that. So this is going to come up with 1. And then I'll have another one come up the side here. And I can just butt right up against there. And this will be the, what's it called? The pure sulfur line. And then coming back down, let's see, these things take so long to produce that it's not going to be a problem at all. Let's see, can I just start producing here though? Well, now here's the problem, of course, because now what I've done is I've gone ahead and, well, this is silly. So the problem, of course, is that I can come in here and well, what I can do is this, whatever. So this is going to go on the side. I'll have this go up here like this. Right? It's a little silly, but I've done this before. Not a big deal. And more importantly, if I do it like this, then it allows me to have these things stacked properly. So let's do this. One more. Here we go. And then this will be the sulfur. Now, where does the steel come in? I think the steel is going to come in. Well, because what's going to happen is I'm going to have this line here be like this. So these are going to be the actual makers of stuff. How do they output, though? I don't think they can. Not conveniently. I'd like to output on the outside, right? But the furthest I can get out is that. And that means I'm going to have to do a whole lot of ducking and weaving. And then over here as well. And that's certainly not putting in a space that I want. So, now, and I asked the question earlier, how does steel come up here? Well, the answer is like this. I'm going to bring these in. And what I'll do is I'll have the steel sneak up like this. And I'll have this move down like so. I'll have I can... Let's see. Well, here's the thing. It doesn't really matter, because what I can do is just this, and then this is going to come on the outside, but I can actually pull that further down, so it doesn't really matter. But what I can do here is I can kind of do the same thing. I can just say, let me make a single array here. Tell you what, let me do this. I think I have an idea. Just copy and paste this, or Control X. There we go. Cut, paste this like over, say here. There we go. Now I have more room to think. So what's going to happen is this. The stone is going to come in from like way over here. The output for this is going to be right, let's see, 1, 2, 3. So I can output there. So this is actually going to have to come down one more. So I think, let me do this again. Control X, move this up one more. There we go. Now, what I'll do is I'll have this thing output here and here, and then here and here. So I'll have the sulfur coming up in here, and in fact, I'm going to actually, well, I'm not going to feed the sulfur line in yet. That's just going to make it a big mess if I have to like move this yet again, which is entirely possible. Well, that doesn't need to come in. So then this comes down, yeah. And then this comes down. And then coming up, I suppose I actually could wind this through here like this. This seems a little silly, but, you know, I can't do that. So then the stone line goes up there. But I need to actually, the reason actually I'm thinking I can't do that. No, I can't really do that. What I can do is this. I can have an input from there. That's a little bit of a silly design, but it actually is pretty cool. And the reason I say that is because I'll have an input right here. And what it's going to do is this. Let's go forward one more. Yeah, fine, fair enough, whatever. So this will come out here. Here we go. And there we go. All right, so that will allow me to have the... So I've got these... Wait a second, what am I thinking? Oh my gosh, I'm bad at life. I'm so bad at life. I'm trying to do 3 belts. I forgot I'm going to do 2. Well, because the reason is because I have 1 belt of pure stone tablets. Because it consumes so many. Actually, yeah, I think because the stone tablets, it consumes how many per second? Because it consumes 2 stone tablets per second. Yeah, it's going to consume an entire red belt of those per second. And the same with the sulfur. Yeah, no, I'm right. I'm right. This is right. I'm not going to be able to do... I originally thought I could do a split lane, but it's the split of stone and... what's it called? Stone and steel. So what I'll do, actually... You know what? Screw it. I'm not going to do a split line of stone and steel. It's just going to be what it is right here. And we're just not going to think about it too hard. Because I'm going to sit here and try to optimize myself into saving like 1 belt. And it's not going to be enough to actually be worth all the insanity. So, there we go. Now these are going to make heat shielding. Boom, 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 boom. So now I just need to, so this is going to sneak up past here. And it's also going to have to take in an input from back here. So there we go. So this is the stone. And this is the sulfur. And this is the steel. So the steel needs to be unpacked. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Get a belt box here. And turn that towards the inside. Now, as far as powering this, I think I still will do the thing. I'll just do this. And then can I put a thing down that gets that belt box? Yes, it gets the belt box. You get that. Now let's go ahead and do what I've been doing with the pattern of power poles going up the center here. There we go. Now, I think I'm pretty much past the point of putting all these things down. So, am I though? Because I'd have to put like undergrounds in order to put these down. No, I think actually I'm not. I'm going to continue putting these single poles down in this kind of thing. And it's okay. I'm pretty much done feeling bad about that. So let's do this. Put that going through. Here we go. This is such a silly setup, but you know what? It'll work. Now I'm having the bricks go through like this and all that stuff because I might put a second array up here when I upgrade to blue belts, when the sulfur line will be enough to feed another set, and then I can just have another brick, all those bricks come up there and do that too. But yeah, not super necessary. So let's see. Let's go ahead and just copy and paste this. Actually, let me put lights down in it first. So here we go. Let's go here and here. This already has lights, but let me move them here and here. And then another one for here. Now let's do this. Copy that. And we'll just go ahead and paste it. So I said I wanted 16, so that's 16 right there. And that should be good. We should be pretty much ready to go here with the heat shielding. What happened? Oh, wow. I didn't think about this in the slightest. I just basically turned my brain off and put it in neutral. Tell you what, until this is needed, I'm not going to do anything with it. For right now, I'm going to leave that splitter there as a reminder, but I'm not going to overbuild this. He said after he overbuilds it. With no sense of irony whatsoever. Let's see. So this is the sulfur. And this is the, here we go, steel. And then the outputs. So let's go ahead and merge those. So we'll go like this. Oh, I just barely can't get across. Are you kidding me right now? You must be. Well, tell you what, let's do this. And then this is just going to come around here. And then they can both go this way. And get combined down. And go down here. And then we'll start the undergrounding process. So this is going to actually have to move over a little bit, I think. Because this is going to have to come up from here. And then again from here to here, here to here. All right, so this line here is the steel. The steel, I think, came up. Oh, it's so much nicer running on the bus when there's just like concrete and stuff. So there's the stone. Steel's over here. All right, so let's get this stone line going. Stone brick. I keep saying stone like it's just stone, and it's not. Here we go. So there's the stone line. That's going to come up here in this one. So we're just going to go ahead and split that off like so. Here we go. Actually, I bet I can go one more tile. 2 more tiles even. Okay. So there's stone. Then we can split this off because this is going to have to come in here. So 1, 2. Yep, there we go. Here we go. Is this like 7? This is 7, isn't it? Oh, I did a botch job of this. All right, that's fine. Everything's pointing the right way except for this one. There we go. So that'll flow in there. So why aren't you guys working? Oh, you did work. You just filled up the line already. All right, cool. So that's the steel flowing in. Don't get used to that because that steel line is very sparse right now. So then here we're going to have the sulfur line going up. In fact, you're just going to curve into here because this is your last stop. You are no longer needed, sulfur. I already have you going into blue science, and that's basically your only point in existence. Aside, this is your only other point of existence. There we go. So we got all that. Oh, you know what I did not do? I did not put down input inserters here, but that won't take more than a second. Boom, boom. I'm going to need some more of these. That's fine. Here we go. Just take that, copy and paste it a couple of times, and I'll go get some more red inserters because that's what I'm going to need. And that should be good to go. I'm going to make a little bit of a storage box of it because I want to keep some around, because the first things I'm going to be making with that aren't going to be the mass-produced kinds of products. But still, this feels good. Red inserters, that's right. I'm like trying to remember what it is that I needed. Why is it that I came over here? What is my purpose? Is it really just to get the butter? My gosh. Props if you got that reference, by the way. All right, so I think that's everybody. Now, you. So what I want you to do. Now, I have this thing combining them, but I'm also going to use it as the splitter storage for this. So just give me like, 3 stacks will be fine. I don't need more than that. And we'll be good. That'll start getting me the stuff I need to expand the bus out, or to expand the smelting area out. So cool. All right. Now, I'm going to give myself a little room, 2 tiles. Yeah. And 2. Let's just go do this. So now we have heat shielding. That is kind of huge, actually. All these rocks can just get out of my life. Where is my lawnmower? Nyeh. Get off. See, that's the thing. Some of these, you build over it and it doesn't go away. The reason it doesn't go away is because the center of the sprite isn't right there. It's actually kind of distributed. I'll add some more stuff down there so it doesn't look so asymmetric. All right, so now it's time to make the next major thing, which is low density structure. So this is going to use my even more dwindled steel reserves, but only 1 every 4 seconds, so that's not terrible. I'm going to have to unpack the copper and unpack the steel, but everything else can just like flow in. I think because this only uses 1/2 a glass and 1/2 a plastic bar per second, I'm going to double those lines up, and then I'll double up the copper and steel. And the reason I'm also going to double up copper and steel is because I have another way of drawing that up. Now, let me see, actually. That doesn't make any... it makes as much sense as anything else. Because 3 of those products, I require 10 of them in order to manufacture it. So it's not like I'd be gaining anything by pairing them differently. All right, so glass also needs to come up. So here we go. Here we go. All right, let's try this. This isn't going to... Well, I guess I can come from up here. The problem I'm thinking of is that if I go here... There, that's actually right. Okay. All right, I want to get as much utility out of these as possible. At some point, when I go to blue belts, I'll have so much stuff that I'll get rid of these little things to try to save material. But for right now, it's not quite hurting for materials, but don't want to squander stuff either. Always feels a little weird. So this is actually pretty straightforward. I don't need to do any like pre-processing of anything except for the belt box stuff, but that's what this whole area here is for. So this is just going to be 2 lanes down the center with 1 lane out on either side. So 1 lane, then an assembler, and 2 lanes, then another assembler, and then another lane. And that's it. So these are my input lanes. And we're just going to stick with this pattern. I think I should come up a little bit for this power pole, so I can just do this. Doot, 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 doot. Let's get this power pole up here. Here we go. And yeah, I think that's basically all I need to do. Let's go ahead and make you low density structures. Let's go ahead and put down some stuff. Here we go. There we go. Doot, doot. And doot, doot. Here we go. And then here, oops, there we go. Here we go. Even more. And then this. And this. And then this. Oops, going the wrong way. And I think that's really it. Like, this is actually a pretty simple one, shockingly enough. And I screwed it up. Undo, undo. I'm off by one tile. I also haven't done any consideration for how many of these per second I want to make, but that's just because this takes so little material and it takes so much time. I'm just going to put an array of, I guess, 20 down, and we'll just call it a day. Besides, this uses essentially straight up products that I don't need to process, and so that means that the things it's reliant on are my sort of deep guts of the facility. So I'm not going to start getting into that just yet. All right, so we're going to do the same thing here. I think I'll combine on the other side up here. Let's see. So we'll combine here. Oops, there we go. So we'll do a storage. Actually, I guess, does that need to go the other way? Ah, sweet. So we'll get, these things don't stack to very high, so give me a whole bunch. And here we go. Now the inputs, this is going to be the fun part. So this is going to need 2 belt boxes. Let's see. So here we go. So what's going to happen is it's going to go like this to belt boxes, and then, oh, I missed it by like 1 tile, didn't I? Can I bring these in 1? I don't think these move, so I'll do that. And so this will come out like this, and that'll connect. Oops, 1 more in, I think. Because these need to have their little outputs there. There we go. And then like, oops, like that. So make those go in. Now set this up here, and I'll set the output to have on the left, it doesn't really matter, or right, irrelevant. The right is going to have the copper stacks. And then this is just going to input here, and then this is going to input here, and we'll be all set if we feed this. So we need the iron and the copper. So here we go. And wait, what just happened? Things got damaged, nothing got destroyed. Definitely need to, at some point, set up some things that will feed those things bullets, but this isn't good. You do not get to expand there. Hang on. He's trying to set up a biter base. I can tell it. He's just sitting there all calm and quiet, waiting for no one to come kill him. But guess what? I have bad news. Boom. Well, I gave you your shot. I let you wail on me. And unfortunately, you couldn't contend. Oh well. All right, so back to this. Let's get the iron and copper line coming up here. Oh, I'm out of belt. Okay, let's go get some more. Doo-doo-doo. All right. Belt. Where is AMUR at? Just give me a bunch. We're not quite to blue yet. We're getting there. We're on our way there. We're actually making some pretty strong strides to get there, technically. Okay, so... Oh, I'm almost out of undergrounds, too. Yep, let's just go restock real quick. Doing good on blue inserters and red inserters. Lights, power poles. I think it really is just undergroundies. Undergroundies. I keep saying this silly word, and I got it from a streamer who was really great, but definitely I'm a grown man. I'm copies someone with my silliness. He's not copies. Okay, here we go. And then I'm going to have another one here. Can I do this? This is going to get in the way of the other one, didn't it? Because I got two things coming up this way. So let's do this. I think I'm going to give myself a little bit of an offset. And the reason is simple. I have another thing that's going to have to come up. So let's go ahead and just pull this down. Here we go. So I think that's where that's going to come in. So this is going to be plastic and glass. So let's go get the plastic line up here. Plastic line should be really thick. Ah, it's over here. That's pretty cool. It's already up here. Yeah, that thing is pretty rich right now, so that's good. Did it just skip because of a tree? Shoo. In fact, shoo. Oh no. Okay, well I was able to handle it. Get out of here. You too. Yeah. All right, so glass. You're gonna do this. Let me go ahead and build up some of these things because I can't see where I'm supposed to put my undergroundies just yet. Oh my gosh. There we go. And then same thing here. And then same thing here. And then same thing here. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I want to come in on these two lanes. So let's see. I'm putting this. I don't need to go across here because I'm going to end up just re-consuming all that with the whatchamacallits. The thing that does the stuff. The undergrounds. They're just going to consume all that. So that's not a big deal. Not yet. Don't get too excited there. So yeah, one more up. Here we go. Here we are. And then here we go. Get that out of the way. There we go. So I guess I don't need to. I did need to come down some, but I guess I can bring all this up one more tile. But it doesn't really matter, actually. Because this is the only thing tapping in this area. So, wow. I think that's it. That's actually going to give me what I want. Oh, that's not good. Stop, stop, stop. Everybody stop. Just stop, stop, stop. You too. Everything stop. That was a mistake. All right, so let's do this. Do I have enough room for this? I do. Very crowded right here, but that's okay. There we go. That's better. Forgot about that little problem. Good times. All right, so snip this. Those are just remnants of the blueprint, and I think we are good. What are we missing? Why is steel not coming in here? I put on plastic instead of steel, didn't I? That's cool. That's cool. I mean, who needs to actually do things correctly, right? Because I mean, just it's good to make mistakes now and again to remind yourself of why you shouldn't be allowed near a computer ever, under any circumstances. Ever. Okay, let's try this again. So let's see. Let's do that. We're going to do the same thing here because this is going to have to do the thing. All right, so let's get steel coming out there. So this one's going to take the belt boxy do. Oh, I might have just squished myself into too little space here. Let's move that. I know that's going to turn that off, but I might need to do something else here. That's okay. Let's just think about this for a second. So we'll put a belt box, then put one of these here. And then what we'll do is this is going to come out here, and it should be the case that if I get all this plastic off, that I'll get some steel. Here we go. So that's going to be plastic the entire time. This, let's just get rid of that to make sure there's nothing hidden on there. And then let's connect the steel line because now it won't be tainted upstream. So now let's do this. Yep, that's right. So now let's get rid of this plastic off the thing. Here we go. Get this plastic out of here. That was silly. Wait, it is plastic. What the heck am I doing? Copper, steel, plastic, and glass. It's the iron. The iron's the one that's wrong. Oh my gosh. And someone even is in channel trying to tell me that I'm doing it wrong because of that. Oh my god. All right. All right. All right. You know what? This is about to explode my inventory. I should not be allowed near computers. Let's go ahead and just put this down here. I should be reading the chat in Twitch. I know I'm 10 minutes over time for this episode, but I'm going to get this doggone task done. Because you know what? I have besmirched my honor with my incompetence. Here. You go in there. You go in there. Oh my gosh. My soul hurts so badly right now. Okay, so this was... First off, let's get rid of the blinking because it's driving me insane. Boom. Second off, I need to get rid of the iron entirely. It was to put the steel on there is what I wanted. So let's go clean off this line here. There we go. Third, so plastic and iron is going to stay, or plastic and glass is going to stay like that. So let's just clean off this. There we go. So that line is, oh, darn it. Let's clean this again. Oh my gosh. So bad. All right, so let's undo this. Let's clean this line out. And of course that happens. Yeah, this is just going to be a huge mess for my inventory because that iron stuff does not stack in the inventory. It stacks like 20. And I know why, but man, it just makes it so hard to actually carry around whenever you have to manipulate belts. I don't know that I'm going to use belt boxes again for something like steel. I think that was a complete mistake. Using it for iron and copper, sure, that makes sense. But anything else, I'm hard-pressed to say that that actually makes sense. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and put this back. Here we go. Oh my gosh. And this is going right on YouTube. This wonderful blunder here. Okay, so let's put the plastic back. Now, doing this, it's copper and steel that needs to be on this line. So let's get all that iron off of there. All right, so this actually doesn't need any of this stuff, so we can get rid of all that again. And we do need this again for the steel. Here we go. So let's do that. And now steel. So how do I... Oh, for crying out loud. Can I just like shove this in you temporarily? Please. Please take all this too. Okay. Get all this out of here so it does not taint any lines. So we'll do the same thing. We'll just come in here and here. Oops. All right, that should do it. Yep, we're good there. Continue that line on. And let's get all this stuff out of here. There we go. Now you need something to process, so process that steel. There we go. That's going to continue processing steel, I hope. Now, why isn't it? There we go. I must have just had something on the little line there. All right, so let's go ahead and... I think I still have some steel to process from here. Yep. Bet I can put some of that in you. I can just sit here for a moment. Get all the steel out of my inventory. Make me some low density structures, please. That'd be great. 3, 2, 1. There we go. All right, so now let's do this again. So this is going to come here. Let's do this. Same thing with the filling this up to, yeah, give me 4 stacks now. Boom. Okay, low density structures, full of existence. And that is enough for one episode tonight. So I'm going to call it here. Thank you so much for watching. We have low density structures. We have some, not many, heat shieldings. It's not too bad, actually. Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with that. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care.